I'm obviously a big fan of space-based RTS games, and today we're going to be looking at an indie space RTS with fantastic tactical depth, Nebulous Fleet Command. If you're a fan of space combat in general, there's a lot to enjoy here, but particularly if you're interested in the details of a ship-to-ship engagement, from managing sensor tracking to ship facings, formations, and targeting in full 3D, the Nebulous offers that in depth that I've rarely, if ever, seen from other space RTS games. When looking at the game and its tactical overview with full 3D commands accessed with the spacebar, there are obviously several elements reminiscent of Homeworld as basically the gold standard for 3D space tactical combat. But where Homeworld is the more typical RTS focused on more traditional fleet building and resource collection, Nebulous keeps your engagements both small scale and massively satisfying when commanded just right. Rather than ordering your massive missile frigates to assault the appropriate target like in Homeworld, you're tasked with orienting your ships the right way to keep its guns in the proper direction to engage an enemy target while orbiting around it, and still making sure that the point defense on your ship is oriented properly to intercept any incoming missiles. Have your fleet packed too closely together? There are definitely some benefits to that, but you're also creating an increased radar signature, making it easier to track your fleet. You can partially get around this by turning off certain communications subsystems, though obviously at the expense of their functions. But if one of your ships takes a hit to the reactor subsystem, one of the many subsystems able to take damage and even be repaired over the course of the battle, the resulting explosion could take out several ships. Unlike more traditional models, instead of a standard health bar, ship armor and components are all handled independently. As a ship is softened up on the outside, larger internal blasts hitting unarmored areas can cause more damage and even internal fires as simulated crews scramble to put them out and repair that damage. If you find yourself outside visual range and having your radar jammed, making it too hard to get a lock on the target, the electronic warfare suites on one of your ships may be able to burn through the jammers temporarily, allowing you to quickly establish a lock and get off a missile salvo. Getting into visual range will mean that those radar problems are no longer an issue, and while that can provide an opportunity for your ship's more conventional guns, missiles are unable to operate at such short ranges, so there's a definite trade-off there. If you're chasing down an enemy fleet and they've managed to get to safety behind an asteroid, you can also set waypoints for certain missiles to track independent of their mothership's readouts, allowing you to soften them up before you round the corner. These capabilities can also be used to hit ships from directions that they may not be expecting and won't have protection from. Trying to simply overwhelm an enemy ship with numbers is not going to be sufficient in most situations. You'll need to carefully plan the direction of your assault and how you're going to use your weapons in each engagement. Missiles in particular are a precious resource, so firing them blindly hoping they'll get through is not going to be anywhere near as effective as saving them for the right opportunity. There is a ton of depth in emergent gameplay situations which can come from the variety of capabilities and command options set up within this game's tight fleet engagements, and in my limited time playing so far, I've barely scratched the surface on my path to become the next Grand Admiral Thrawn. While there is a lot to master and getting used to a full 3D world projection is always going to take a little bit of time, the game manages to have a very usable and clear interface. It's not the prettiest game, but everything gets its information across very clearly, and you never have to spend more than a moment looking for a vital piece of information, even as a new player. So for anyone looking to get into a game and play a few matches with their friends in particular, it should be both easily accessible while providing a lot of room to plan, execute, and master new strategies over repeat engagements. If you'd like to check out Nebulous Fleet Command for yourself, there will be a link in the description to the game on the Steam store where it released a few days ago, as well as to the game's Discord server. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time.